Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It's December 18th, 2023. Great to be with all of you today. It's time for our daily bites. We do these every Monday and Thursday morning, roughly around 8:30 to 8:45, to kind of get you, give you an idea of what I'm thinking about markets and where things are at, where we can take our trading, maybe teach a little bit. It's always a fun few minutes to get to spend with you before the start of the trading day. Just a reminder for everyone who is not already in the service. We have a great promo coming up through the end of the year here, and you want to take advantage of this one. This is a good one. Share Our Success Sweepstakes. If you go to this website, explosiveoptions.net, you'll see the pop-up will come up, success-sweepstakes with a slash. You'll get a chance to scroll to the bottom, and you'll get a chance to enter into our sweepstakes, our contest. And what is the contest? Basically, if you get your name gets pulled on January 2nd, you'll win a whole year of total access, which is a whole year of the chat room, the EO service, and the spread trader. Now, what do you get for spread trader and the EO service? Well, EO service, we're up 32% year to date. Spread trader is up almost 20% year to date. Doing fantastic work. Our chat room is just on fire. Everybody in the room is just killing it every single day. And here's what our chat room looks like over here. You can see a lot of good stuff is being distributed in the room for everybody to read and to learn from, to be on top of the trading every single day. So you get a whole year of that for free. And then if you don't win and you get second place, you get 6 months. And then after that, we have 5 third place prizes. You get a whole month worth of that action, which is a $325 value for free. So we're giving away a lot of stuff. And if you don't win any one of these 3 prizes, you'll get a chance to get into the total access for 2 weeks at a rock bottom price, which is $24. All right. And then these left next up until Christmas Eve, we have been having the 12 days of trading series. You'll get access to that as well too. So lots of good stuff, lots of good information for you to read, lots of good things to help you become a better trader, and lots of stuff, a lot of trade ideas to help you make money in the whole process too. So it all comes together for you. So that's that. So how are markets looking this morning? A nice little bid this morning on the S&P futures, up about 10-11. Dow up about 48. We're seeing a little bit of weakness in some of these Fang names. I don't call them Mag 7. I call them Fang names because I created the Fang about 11 years ago. Microsoft down a little bit. We see some good strength in Netflix. Netflix is one you want to keep an eye on here, which could get some good movement up or down in the beginning of the year. It often happens right after the end of the quarter. We see some money flows into and out of Netflix. I think the stock's been rather flat over the last several weeks. So I think that this could be a good bullish play opportunity over the next several weeks. I am in some January 12th calls on Netflix as well too. Amazon up above 150 again. It tickled above there on Friday and pulled down and closed below 150, obviously because of options expiration, but now it's back above there again. At Broadcom, which is the name that we were on for a while there, and gave up last week, it's only down a few dollars. Had a really strong week, unbelievable move on Broadcom last week from about 9:30 or something like that, all the way up to went all the way up to like 11:30, 11:35. So fantastic move. Meta's down a little bit here, so got a little bit of mixed action here on the S&P 500 names. Let's take a look at some charts. So here's a weekly chart of the S&P 500. This is one that I post every week for Actioners Plus in Real Money Pro for the subscribers, and this is one that I update every week, and we can see that a nice inverse head and shoulders pattern. You see the pink balls over here as well too. Once we broke above the neckline, it was off to the races. So what's interesting is about this purple trend line, a steep trend line that I drew in there, which goes all the way back to the spring of 2022. And it's we use it as a reference point, right? all these markers on here. And you can see at one point in time in the early part of January, or late February this year, we broke below that trend line. And then we also did in October, didn't stay below it for very long. So that gives relevance and importance to this trend line, right? We did manage to spend a few weeks. This is a weekly chart, of course. But managed to spend a few weeks above that line, tested a couple of times and failed there in September, and then when we corrected it in October. So what's happening now? Last week we finished above that trend line for the first time since back in this late summer, early fall. And if we follow through on that today, this week, not just today, but all the rest of this week, follow through on that to the upside here, it's going to be confirmation that we have some more upside to go in the markets here. And closing above 4,600 on a weekly basis was a huge deal. This week we closed right on it a couple weeks ago, and now we've moved solidly above there. The old highs on the S&P 500 come in at about 48.18. We're about 100 handles away from that. We closed at 47.19 on Friday. S&P futures again are up here, so we might get a little bit of movement above, maybe above to 47.30, 47.35 when we open up this morning at 9:30. But we'll have to see how things go. We have a very light schedule for earnings this week, but there's some big earnings names that are coming out. You've got to pay attention to. 3 of them that I have on my watch list, which I do have some calls on already, which I'm going to be adding. One of them I really like here is Accenture. ACN is the symbol. ACN. This stock has made a really nice move off the 200-day moving average, similar to what the S&P 500 did back in late October. So the stock's made a big run from about 285 all the way up to 344. It's kind of been in a tight consolidation mode here for a little bit. It did break out last week on Monday in a big way and followed through. And it had a pretty volatile day on Friday, probably mostly due to options expiration as well. So I think that this stock has got a chance to move up. Look, I mean, I could be wrong, and we could pull back. But I think all systems are go for Accenture here. They report their earnings tomorrow morning before the open. And also after the close, we're going to have on Tuesday, we'll have FedEx. Take a look at that one here. That chart has been super strong. My wife, Leanne, in our chat room has mentioned this many times and actually helped us get into the name in the service, EO service, way back here. In mid-November when it broke out on some big volume. So we've been in this name, and we actually got in it a second time here in December. So we like this name. See, are we still in it? No, we're not in it any longer, but that's okay. We may get back into it later. So FedEx, and then also another one that the stock that we took more profits in for the third time in a row in the service was Nike. Right, Nike, strong stock here since the beginning of October, not just the late part of October. Higher series of higher highs, higher lows. We're strong in relative strength. Money flow is very good down here, and you see the MACD's on a buy signal. And we finished strong last week with really good volume, accelerating volume at the end of the week. We did have a couple of price increases from some analysts last week to help drive the stock higher. So Nike reports earnings after the close on Thursday evening. Oftentimes, I've kind of lightened up a little bit of my Nike because I've been in the name since about 103, 104. It's now 121. I've lightened up my positions a little bit. And why is that? It's because oftentimes we've seen Nike when it goes on a big run like this, it gets overloved. And when they report their numbers, even if they're good, we might see the stock fall back a little bit. So I'm looking for that, looking for the pullback opportunity. So if I had to rank the my preference of, say, for instance, these 3 names, I'd say right on the top of the list is Accenture, right below it is FedEx, and then right below that is Nike. So I may have positions in all 3 of them on. I guess you'll have to find out if you come into the chat room to see what we're doing. And then finally, I'm going to share with you the CME FedWatch. Chris and I were talking about this last week. Chris Versace and I were talking about the Fed funds futures and where they're at and where they we're trying to handicap, well, at least the Fed funds futures are trying to handicap where the Fed is going to be over the next 12 to 18 months in terms of monetary policy. So if we look out 6 months from now, June is a June meeting. So of course we have three meetings before then, but after the June meeting, we see that's probably the most important meeting here on this table, other than November and December. We see 4.5 to 5.7. That would imply about 3 rate cuts between now and June. All right, so some 3 rate cuts between January, March, May, and June, and then if you go out to December, it's implying 4 more rate cuts, about to 375. So 150 basis points, or 3 more rate cuts. I'm sorry, out to 375. So it'd be 6 rate cuts implied for 2024. Sorry, folks, I don't think that's going to happen next year. I don't think that's going to happen. I'd be very surprised and shocked, because especially with the strength in the economy, that the Fed would be that aggressive on rate cuts, even if inflation is coming down. If inflation was super coming in negative or something like that for several months in a row, then yes, I could certainly see a movement towards more aggressive rate cuts. But as it is right now, I think if we get 3 rate cuts next year, maybe 4, more likely 3, I think that the Fed is doing their job and really coming in line with the decline, with the slide in inflation, and with the strong economy. The thing is that with the more rate cuts that are provided here, the more juice into the economy, and the more better the chances that inflation gets reignited down the road. So I know the Fed doesn't want to have to do that. They're doing a great job in removing financial accommodation from the markets. They've done that with a long-term interest rate policy that is very tight right now, very hawkish policy. But also they're selling bonds and reducing their balance sheet and taking some liquidity off the table in that way. So something to keep your eye on here. I'm always have an eye on the Fed Watch tool as well. So should you. So I think it's going to be it. Nothing really happened over the weekend. There's Tony barking. Nothing really happened over the weekend to ignite anything. We see interest rates are slightly lower on the long end of the curve. We have 9 trading days left until the end of the year. We have 5 this week and 4 next week. So it appears that the bulls are trying to make a big run towards the all-time highs again, which is 48.18 on the S&P 500, just about 2.5, almost 3% away from current levels. So we'll see if that happens. What I like you to do is to focus in on what's happening on the markets from one day to the next. Take some money off the table. I've been doing it. Everybody in the chat room, everybody I've been talking to has been doing the same thing too. Don't fall into a lull that says, oh, well, I have to be involved in the markets at all times, and I'm just going to go all in and see what happens. That's a very, very poor approach to trading and to investing, and it's you're signing a death warrant for your account by doing that. So I think it's a good idea just to keep some protection. The VIX is down at 12%. It's very cheap. You don't know what's going to happen. We're highly likely to have a lower volatility into the end of the week, which means that the markets may continue to rise up. We're not super overbought right now, and we could get a little bit more movement to the upside. And again, if we tag that old all-time high, we're coming even close to it, maybe 47.90 or something like that. I'm willing to take even more money off the table. So, reduce your risk. Wait for the opportunities to come in and buy some new names when they come back in. Like Microsoft came in quite a bit last week. A lot of people like Microsoft. They wanted to buy some before it surged. Now it's come down. Meta, same thing. Some of these names that offer some really good trading opportunities for you. They're going to come back in. They're going to give you an opportunity to buy into them again. NVIDIA, AMD, 2 other great examples of that as well too. So have a great day, everyone. I appreciate everyone joining with me today. It's raining here in New England, and that's the reason for the song I put out there. But looks like one more quick look on the futures. They pushed up a little bit higher. We're up 15 handles now. Nasdaq up 30. So keep an eye on the markets here. Take it slow as always, and I'll be back on Thursday morning with a pre-Christmas session with you for daily bites, and maybe a little special note for you as well too. And thank you very much for listening today. And don't forget about the sweepstakes. Jump in the sweepstakes for getting a chance to win a whole year or even 6 months of our total access service. All right. Thanks everyone. I appreciate all of you being here with me. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys all in the chat room a little bit later on today. Take care. Bye. Coming down.